A dope. That's what President Trump called late-night host Seth Meyers in his latest tirade against TV's late-night shows. The president set his sight on Meyers' contract, vowing to look into NBC's decision to extend it. In fact, the deal to renew Meyers' late night was announced in May of last year.
Taking to Truth Social on Wednesday, he referred to Meyers as the least talented late-night TV host, adding, quote, "He has no ratings, talent, or intelligence, and the personality of an insecure child. So why would fake news NBC extend this dope's contract? I don't know, but I'll definitely be finding out."
Trump has never backed down from picking a fight with the media, but it seems he's amped it up in his second term. Just this week, he threatened to pull the licenses of ABC and NBC over what he contends is unfair coverage of Conservatives and Republicans. And last month, he celebrated the announcement that Stephen Colbert's Late Show will be terminated by CBS next year.
I was reflecting on the fact that we don't play very many clips from Seth Meyers.
We don't.
In fact,
I don't mind Seth Meyers.
I'm trying to right now picture in my head who he is, and I'm failing.
He's the dark-haired one.
He's dark.
There
he is. Oh, that guy. Right.
Yeah.
He just disappeared in my brain. I need more coffee.
I mean, you're probably not, well, I don't know if you're ever watching network television, but I'm assuming you're not doing so at 12:35 in the morning, which I think is when he comes on.
No, I'm resting myself for our morning show.
For a good discussion.
Yeah, Trump, loves picking fights with the late night hosts. He loves railing about Kimmel and Colbert and all that. So This is part and parcel. They're extending his contract, or what's the?
Well, I mean, I think part of the weirdness is like whoever has told Trump that they are extending Meyers' contract. He said there were rumors. What was the adjective he used? Perhaps our production room could tell me. It was like sad rumors or something, sick rumors. I think that they were extending Meyers' contract. They've already they did it more than a year ago for 4 years. So I don't know who's getting in his ear about that. The other point is that in a previous blast at Seth Meyers, whose name I trip over all the time for some reason.
I can't picture him. You can't say his name.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Sorry, Seth. It's nothing personal, really. But I mean, Trump previously in January said that Comcast should pay a big price for what Trump contends are unfair hits on him from Seth Meyers. So, that sort of suggestion of retribution against corporate entities, I think, is part and parcel of Trump's rather bullying nature and his tendency to overreact to even lighthearted dissent.
Yeah, I'd rather have my government certainly not weighing in more on decisions private companies are making with respect to speech, because we have this little thing called the First Amendment. I think Brendan Carr's FCC is way too aggressive about trying to police speech, which is unfortunate because Trump came to power to correct a lot of the speech policing that was done under the Biden administration. Biden administration being specifically focused on social media companies throughout the pandemic and for some other reasons. I think that was all very bad and all very unfortunate. In fact, conservatives were victimized by a lot of moderation decisions that were made at the behest of the Biden administration. Trump put out an executive order saying restoring free speech. We're not going to do that anymore. I'm all for it. I'm cheering. But then now he's at least inveighing against them. If he just inveighs against them and takes absolutely no action, I mean, I guess fine. But the FCC clearly is looking at taking actions. They're threatening to block deals, or they're acknowledging their ability to block deals that will affect speech-related decisions. Now, it turns out the Colbert decision, from what we can tell, was probably not motivated by federal pressure and was just something they arrived at independently. But what can I say? I'm consistent. I don't want my government to tell people what they can and cannot say or what they should and should not say.
But okay, fair enough. But is it not completely implausible to believe that Donald Trump ever had a legitimate right in free speech, given the numerous times he has battered the media, whether it is these kind of criticisms of Seth Meyers or, some of the memes about CNN that we saw during his first term, the constant complaints about media coverage, the frequent suggestions that Comcast or CBS or various corporate owners should have to somehow pay up for their coverage. it seems just blatantly obvious to me that he does not believe in free speech. He believes in speech that reflects what he wants to hear and believes in punishing criticisms of him.
I don't think Donald Trump nor virtually any other figure in politics has a consistent view of free speech, is what I would say. I don't think Donald Trump so far is particularly praiseworthy on the First Amendment issue. Just this week, obviously, there was the flag burning executive order, which is ridiculous and directly contradicts Supreme Court recognized First Amendment protections, and was just very ill-advised, and then some of these other things. So no, I'm not, certainly not over the moon with what the Trump administration has done with the prioritizing deportations of people who wrote op-eds about Israel that the State Department doesn't like, even though they're expressing opinions that are now becoming like very common among MAGA influencers. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Right.
So yeah, they've not done well. I have just attacked the previous administration for this, and the one before that, and the one before that, and before that I was like 13, but they've all been bad on free speech.
Well, I mean, but to that point about the Israel question, like one of the examples of that being used was Marco Rubio, as Secretary of State, using this particular condition or clause in immigration law, suggesting that you can deport anybody who is sort of injurious to the foreign policy interests of the United States. Yeah. A clause that is typically used for like foreign dissident politicians who are, fomenting trouble here, as opposed to some student writing an op-ed. So that is just another example of this crackdown, really, on free speech that I see happening under this administration. And then you have the broader picture of Trump inveighing against, the Bureau of Labor Statistics if it produces statistics that he doesn't like, or Jerome Powell because he doesn't cut interest rates in the way that Trump would like. It just seems crazy to me to even give any kind of credulity to the idea that he's a free speech advocate.
Well, next up, the jury has decided, will a hoagie thrower be indicted on federal charges? Their decision after this break. We'll be right back.